Welcome back to Blacks in Motion. It is time for our final segment. And yes, we are taking a glimpse into the NFL playoff picture. Now, I'm going to start with the AFC. We all know a couple of things are true. One, the Jets are trash. They're not the worst team in the conference, but I just like to mention that they're trash because I think their whole organization is a joke. But beyond all that, the Texans are leading the AFC. They've only lost one game. They're 11-1. Mm-hmm. Their defense has suffered great injuries this year. And over the last 2 to 3 weeks, they have looked very suspect, particularly in the secondary. But Jonathan Joseph is coming back, and I think that they'll be fine. They've already clinched the playoff berth. They should, unless they just completely crap on themselves, they should be the number 1 seed overall. Oh, wow. They will play the Patriots, who are right behind them in terms of AFC supremacy. Also in that mix, Baltimore. They're making the playoffs. Also in that mix, the Broncos. They're making the playoffs. Oh, and not to mention the Colts. And they're probably leading candidate for MVP, maybe Andrew Luck. Look, those guys won 2 games last year. They got 8 right now. Mm-hmm. They're making the playoffs. So it really comes down to the Steelers, who will be getting Ben Roethlisberger back, and that should help guys like the bell cow Jonathan Dwyer. Mm-hmm. It should definitely help Heath Miller. And now that you have Sanders and Mike Ness and Mr. Antonio Brown and these guys, they should have some continuity now that old man Batch is not throwing in the ball. Mm-hmm. They'll be battling with the Bengals, who are also 7-5 and who have some cupcakes for the rest of the schedule in the regular season. Their defense is coming along, and anytime that you have Andy Dalton and that beast wide receiver, AJ Green, it's going to be a problem. So look for the Steelers and the Bengals to try to round it out. The other teams look like they're right in fantasy mode, playoff mode, and they should be able to, pretty much round out that AFC picture there.
Yeah. Now I'm going to go ahead and tackle the NFC. Get some key things out of the way early. Right. Things we know. The Packers leading the AFC North. Got a little contention from the Bears, but hey, AFC North locked up pretty much will be the Packers. Yeah. Atlanta Falcons took over the NFC South this year. True. They're the best team in the NFC. They'll go ahead and coast into the playoffs. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers. Have a little quarterback problems, but that NFC West is pretty much theirs. Go ahead and look for them to go ahead and win that division. Now, coming to the NFC East, it gets a little bit squirrely. Let me say, the New York Giants. Yes. I don't like them. I'm a Cowboys fan. I ain't never liked them. I think that they're not as good as advertised. Okay. Well, that would, be true since they have a 7-5 record. It's true. But that leads into going into who's nipping at their bud. And who is that? The Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins. Now, understand, the other 2 wild card teams right now are the Chicago Bears, who should make it to the playoffs with no problem, and the Seattle Seahawks. Now, for my second segment, we just told you both of their Pro Bowl caliber corners are out. They're almost on the cusp of falling out of the playoff picture. And those 2 teams from the NFC East are right there, the Redskins and the Cowboys. Look for it to be a real big shootout coming up on these last 3 or 4 ball games when we start talking about these teams really jockeying for playoff position. It's going to get nasty. Yeah. And it should make for some good football. So y'all definitely stay tuned, as we will. But all these things, what we're talking about, that's just what we think over here at Blacks in Motion. If you think something differently, go ahead and hit us up. You can email me at cliff@blackvideonews.com or hit up Caesar at caesar@blackvideonews.com. But like I said, once again, it's us right here at Blacks in Motion. See you next week.